Talk to me. WSRadio.com. I'm talking about CSKeys.
Welcome back to the CSKeys show right here on WSRadio.com. I want to thank my guest in today's show in the first segment, future Hall of Famer, 13-year veteran, Jermani Dawson of the Pittsburgh Steelers, also 9-year veteran of the Green Bay Packers and our all-time sack leader at 74.5 sacks, Kabir Bajabia-Miller. In the second segment, I want to also thank future Hall of Famer, 16-year veteran Andre Reed, who both Andre and Jermani, again, should be in the Hall of Fame coming up this weekend. Of course, I want to thank our Hollywood insider, Joe Wilderman, in the last segment. Joining me right now, we're going to preview the UFC 126 coming up this weekend. UFC always has outstanding cards. This is going to be one of the better cards that they're going to have, too. But before we get to that, we want to talk about something that's going on right here in San Diego. It's called First Fight and firstfightsandiego.com, where when you talk about the fighters, these guys and this organization is out to help the fighters. Joining me right now is the founder of First Fight and firstfightsandiego.com, Mike McClafferty. Mike, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great, yes. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you coming on. And talk about what First Fight San Diego actually is.
Well, it's basically a site that was established to fill some of the missing gaps with the explosion of MMA. And we try to help out the fighters, most importantly, giving them the proper presentation that, again, was missing, as I told you before the show. You know, there's a lot of silhouettes, a lot of inconsistency with some of the, top sites in the industry. And it was really getting to me, so I started building the page and seeing if the idea would work. I went around to some people from behind the scenes that fighters may or may not be aware of to make sure they were involved. And now it's working. I mean, we're getting fighters from, all different areas, greater opportunities than they would have had without this presentation. They all get their own link, video profiles, pictures, statistics, a text line to make sure that it's accurate and we maintain accuracy because that's important. It could subsequently affect sponsorship or a fight potentially. And hopefully we're doing some good. I mean, we're way ahead of where I thought we would be. And so far, so good. I really don't know, whether or not certain people are pointing it out or not, that it's a fighter registration for a career. It's not a fighter registration for a fight. We're making our presence in New England, the Midwest, and here in Southern California. And we have fighters, from Brazil and Japan. And so it's really growing fast. It's really doing some good, but most importantly, getting their names out there. These guys go through a lot for, sometimes 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. They go for a lot, and they can barely afford that. So whatever we can do to help.
Well, this show's heard from East Coast to West Coast like butter, and so is the phone number is 877-474-3302. Let's jump on the phone lines right now because they knew you were going to be on. So obviously you're doing a lot of support for the fighters. They want to support you. Let's talk to Brandon right now. Brandon Sheard. How you doing, Brandon? Welcome to the CSKeys show.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How has First Fight San Diego helped you?
They really helped me out, especially with getting my name out there. Everyone knows the UFC. Everybody knows about who the big pro guys are and everything, but people forget that they got to start somewhere else. They got to start lower. And what I really like about First Fight is they help you build it up. Like, most people I know, when I went to go get a sponsorship, they're like, "Oh, you're an amateur, so we don't want to waste money on that." And First Fight, they really help you out with finding sponsors and everything. Because like Michael was saying, it ain't cheap to get out there and fight.
How long have you been fighting, Brandon?
I've been fighting for about 2 or 3 years. I've been training like actual MMA for like 5 years, and I have a background in wrestling that's way more extensive than that.
Well, we wish you continued success with it, Brandon. Okay.
Brandon's got a fight coming up in San Diego on March 25th as well against Adam Griffith. So, we're certainly going to be there to support him. You
get in touch with me on the show, Brandon. I have you on the show before the fight. All right.
Okay.
You got it. Thanks for calling in. That right there has got to make you feel good, Mike, because, number one, you got guys calling in right away as soon as they knew you were going to be on. Like you said, you're supporting them. So, obviously, they're doing, in return, supporting you.
It does feel good, and I can see it growing, but I can tell you what doesn't feel good is being in the gym every day and get knocked out and choked out. And I think that's what people forget. It's one thing to put money behind somebody because they do need it. But, the actual sponsorship and helping of somebody is also getting them there. And it's far few in between that are doing that. And that's what we're trying to do is find whether it's local or worldwide companies to help out, and again, that's, one of those things where, yeah, it feels good. It feels good to see it work. And I told you, we're, way 2 years ahead of where we thought we would be.
That's great. That's right. That means success. 877-474-3302. Let's go to the phone lines to talk to Kelly. Kelly, how you doing? Welcome to the CSKeys show.
Hey, how's it going?
Very good. How has first?
Hi, Michael.
Kelly, how you doing?
Hey, I couldn't resist,
How's First Fight helped you out, Kelly?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not so much what it's done for me. It's more of, what it's done for all these fighters. First Fight is probably the biggest and most selfless business that I've ever come across. Michael does all this stuff and puts in all this time, and does it for nothing, pretty much. It's all about fighters and how he can make them better and put them out there and get them to be able to follow their dreams, and I have a lot of friends that are fighters, and, they all want to say thank you, and, Brian wants to say thank you for everything, and, I just think that what he does is amazing, and there's not too many people that do it without wanting something in return,
It's got to feel good, Mike.
Kelly's a fighter too, so don't let her modesty fool.
Yeah.
She's got a great company, CrossFace Productions, and she's equally doing the same. I mean, she's going out taking pictures, and without that proper presentation, I mean, the pictures really, I mean, it's the package. It makes a difference. And you want to have that that heightened interest of the bigger organizations. And Kelly, she's one of those girls that, she's a perfect example of the knowledge and education that's still missing in MMA. If you step up to Kelly and you take her lightly, you're getting knocked out.
Well, Kelly, I appreciate the phone call. You're talking about MMA, of course, coming up this weekend. UFC 126 is going to be a huge card. I mean, you got Brandon Silver on the card. That right there says enough as it is. There's going to be some outstanding events going on all weekend long. I'm going to bring one man in right now, Dan from the press box. Dan, how you doing, my man? Welcome to the CSKeys show.
I'm doing good, CS. How you doing, my friend?
We've got Michael McClafferty right here in studio. But talk about the UFC 126 coming up this weekend, because you guys are going to be just out the doorway with people coming in because of the fight card.
Oh, we're going to be packed, man. We get a great crowd every UFC. It's real nice to see this energy grow and grow, and we see it every single month, every time we get one of these fights come along. So, it's a real good time down at Press Box, and we really have a blast showing these fights, and it's just such a great energy in the building. The whole week is going to be a sports weekend all around the country, basically, but I think this UFC 126 is going to kick things off. It's got a great card. Is there something else going on besides UFC this weekend? I didn't get that. I think somebody said a football game was going on Sunday or something like that. All right, yeah, I think I caught that somewhere on SportsCenter. Now, as far as you guys are concerned, I guess people will start following in to see the undercards, because that's where some of the more exciting fights are, too, because these are the fighters who are up and coming. Yeah, exactly. And we get, like I said, it starts right at 7 our time, and we just get so much energy in that building. And even those undercards, man, even those first fights, they're just, they're so much fun to watch. There's so much talent on that screen, and it's just a great time. So, yes. Where are you guys located, real quick, before I let you go? We are down on Hamishaw Road in Rancho, San Diego. We are across the street from the Edwards Movie Theater. And if anyone wants to come out, I want to do a little offer for your listeners here, CS. We do a $5 cover on UFC nights, but anyone that comes out, I just want them to mention your show at the door, and they can get in free of cover charge. You heard that. Appreciate it, Dan. Appreciate it, buddy. You got it, man. I'll be in touch. Hey, Mike, you know what? Real quick, we got less than a minute here. Talk about the card real quick, about 30 seconds. Well, this is the one. I mean, this is the one that, Anderson Silva, yes. I think he's on a 13 streak, 13-fight winning streak, maybe 12 in the UFC. He's got only two fights of his have gone the distance, and and then you got Vitor, who's he's got the power. So it's one of those things where this is the match that people are waiting for in the middleweight division. Moving on to Forrest Griffin and Rich Franklin real quick. I think that's going to take the fight of the night and steal it. If there was two twins growing up, these are the twins. These are twins fighting. It's going to be an outstanding card, UFC 126. Mike, I want to thank you for coming in. Please go to his website, firstfightsd.com, and check it out. That's going to be it for me, so you take care of yourself, because you are the only you there is, and that makes you very, very special. God willing, and the crease don't rise, I'll be talking to you, not at you, next week. Have a great weekend. I want to say hi to my two nieces, Tatiana and Tiara, and my nephew, Forrest. Treat grandmom good up there, y'all. Love y'all. See you guys next week right here on the CSKeys Show. Thanks for listening.